What is going on, everyone? Let's talk about the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. Game 1 is in the books, and I know I've been on the record saying I haven't been so happy with the NHL playoffs as a whole, but once the Stanley Cup Finals comes around, listen, playing hockey for 19 years, AAA, juniors, college, all that good stuff, when it comes to the actual last series, you can't take away the passion that I have for the game. When I was 4 years old on my rollerblades playing out in my driveway, winning the cup in 75 different jerseys every single night, you can't take that away. So watching these guys go through battle, I just respect it so much because I've dreamed of winning the Stanley Cup for so long as a little kid. So I can't sit there and not love it just as a sports fan when it comes down to that last series. Even though I was so underwhelmed with the conference finals in the second round. I really was. I hated it. But this final series, it starts and the love for the game is just instantly back. And another question I get is, how do you watch a Bruins team, or how do you watch teams that you hate because of the city that they're from and not be biased? Listen, it's simple. When it comes to me, if it's not a Philadelphia sports team that wins, I don't care. There's an exception here and there like the Dallas Cowboys and all that, but I don't care who wins the cup if it's not my team. So I just watch with an entertainment value of the game and enjoying sports and the beauty of it for what it is. I don't care that it's Boston in it. I just don't care. Am I rooting for Boston? I mean, I guess you could say I'm not rooting for them, but I don't care because the next day, whoever wins the cup, my life's the same. My life's the same. I care about my team. So, let's dive into this. Game 1 was an ass-kicking. On the scoreboard, it doesn't read that. Game 1 was an ass-kicking. The Bruins destroyed them, annihilated them, creamed them. The Bruins checked off all the boxes. The physicality, they won that battle. The role players, third, fourth liners, they won that battle easily. Tuukka Rask came up big. Now, I'm not going to say Binnington had a bad game, but he didn't have the support. The Blues took stupid penalties when they were up 2-0. Early on, they took an early lead. Braden Shen got in there, got a nice goal. You also have early in the second period a bad reverse by the Bruins. And Tarasenko ended up scoring on that play. But once that happened and the Blues started taking these stupid, dumb penalties, the Bruins just flipped the switch. The intensity was unbelievable. I'm sitting there as a fan watching Torrey Krug get abused in the crease area on the defensive side. No bucket. Flies down the offensive zone and lowers the shoulder right into him and crushes him. I'm sitting there saying, damn, as a stay-at-home defenseman in my prime who chipped the puck up off the glass all the time and wasn't very physical, I'm sitting there saying, holy hell, was that a fantastic play. They played with energy, they played with this swag, and they kicked the shit out of the St. Louis Blues. There's just no denying it. When it's 3-2 Bruins, I'm sitting there and saying, how was it this close on the scoreboard? The shots were 38-20. The Blues had nothing going. They couldn't even get out of the zone half the time, and it all started once they started taking those penalties that was crushing their team as a whole. They're up 2-0. They made the switch happen. They made the momentum change by going in the box consistently. But there's no doubt the Boston Bruins are a deeper squad, a better squad, but that doesn't mean anything in hockey. It's just about who's hotter and who has the better goaltender. Being down 1-0 in hockey isn't even close to the same as, say, being down in basketball. But I have to say this. If the Bruins play like that, good luck. St. Louis won't have a damn chance. You have guys like Connor Clifton stepping up and producing. And this is the kid who got drafted by Arizona, didn't end up staying there. The Bruins picked him up, and he has this type of game. And funny story about Connor Clifton, real quick. Back in my high school days, I actually played against him. We were rivals, and I used to chirp him all the time. One time, we were up 4-0 going into the third period. I'm sitting there ripping him apart, feeding him, chirping him. Yeah, we lost 5-4 after the third period, and he scored 4 goals, and he ripped me apart. He ripped me apart. Now I'm sitting here screaming about the Bruins on YouTube while he's making plays happen out there in the NHL. And trust me, he's not the only one. I can name a bunch more that I did that to. One of them specifically playing for the Flyers in Bailey. But no need to go down that route. I just find it funny that he's out there making all these outstanding plays and was a huge difference maker today. And I used to chirp him every single time we played each other back in the high school days, even before we went to juniors. Chara blocked a shot late in this game and it hit him in the wrist and the blood started flowing and he went right to the locker room. Now, do I think Chara's going to be out there and play? Yeah, I don't know if it was anything broken. I think he'll be able to go for game 2, but it's just something to keep your eye out on moving forward in this series. But there really isn't that much to take away from this other than the fact that I thought the Boston Bruins were better almost 95% of the time. You take away the 2 early goals in the start of the second period. From that 1 minute mark into the second period and on, the Bruins actually whooped them. It wasn't even kind of close. The Blues couldn't make passes. They couldn't even get out of the zone. They couldn't really get that many grade A scoring chances. They just got their asses kicked. And for them to be up 2-0 and for it to end in the fashion that it did, the Blues have to be feeling really bad about themselves because they started out the game so hot. And even the first period, the shots were tied and they were up 1-0. You go into the second period, you go into that first intermission and you think to yourself, all right, boys, let's duplicate that. They come out and start so well in the first minute of that second with creating a turnover on bad communication. And from there, it's insane. It's insane. I love playoff hockey. I love the intensity. I love the little things. Maybe some of the casual fans don't pick up on. For example, the Blues are down 4-2 after an empty net goal. They put a puck on Tukarask. Game's essentially over. They go hard as hell to the net. They go hard, they dig, they whack, they're slashing, they're grinding, breathing sheds in front of the net. That's just a statement. They're not obviously they're trying to score, but the statement, the physicality, the hands to the face, the punching in the... I've been in those type of battles. Not to the level of Stanley Cup Finals intensity, but I've been in those battles in my respected level. And that little stuff that carries over the next series, you can tell this is going to be a bloodbath. You can tell these two teams already despise each other, and the physicality's there, the hatred's there, the cross-checks there. I love it. That's what makes this series so beautiful and so outstanding when it comes to the last final series for the battle of the Stanley Cup. Just like I was practicing in my driveway when I was Ford winning the Stanley Cup, so did all these guys, and they get the chance to actually pursue that dream. So the intensity is there. I respect it. Are the Blues going to just give up and die? I don't think so. They need to find out how to compete harder, though, because you can control the compete level, and I'm not saying they didn't try, but there was a time where the game did a complete 180, and if they want to have a chance in this series, they can't allow the Bruins to play with that type of swag and momentum throughout, because they won't get the job done. They need to find a way to execute more. They need to find a way to stay out of the penalty box. They need to find a way to, when you're breaking out in your own defensive zone, to not turn pucks over, to not make these plays where you're trying to force a pass and Connor Clifton picks it off and gets it deep and they score off that pick off there. They're trying to stretch the play and look for these passes that maybe you go to the center with the support instead of trying to go all the way across the blue line from your own D zone. Those are the little things they're going to have to try and execute more. And even coming into the zone, how about we drive wide, go to the net? I didn't see so much offense either when it comes to this Blues team after that first minute into the second period. It should have never been that close. That was full 100% Boston Bruins being in control for that whole second and third period, essentially. So with that being said, I want to know your thoughts down below on this game. What did you see? What was the difference in the Boston Bruins compared to the St. Louis Blues because it switched and one team was on an elite level compared to the Blues, even though the Blues had a great start. And I didn't think Binnington was bad. I thought maybe the third goal he should have been able to save. The second one got deflected. But he's grinding his ass off, and there's so many power play opportunities that he needed to try and kill off on the other end. And, I mean, I'm not blaming him. There's only so much he can do. I don't think he got the support. The Bruins were just full throttle. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.